Hello, everyone. This is Miss Bradley, and I hope you're having fun at home, but you're also doing your lessons that Mr. Henry has posted. But I wanted to introduce you to my son, Jared, who is an author. And Jared is here with me today. And so he has authored a book that is about his some lessons that he learned in life growing up as a Christian and as a young person in this city. So here's Jared, everybody.
Hey guys, how's it going today? Well, my name is Jared, and I just wanted to introduce to you a book that I read called Dying to Tell the Truth. This book is a
That you
story.
wrote, Jared? You wrote this
I
book?
wrote this book
Okay.
in 2015. It
Mm-hmm.
is a book about my life as a Christian and my struggle in loving my neighbor as myself. Um, and today I just want to share with you a story from this book, and we're going to talk about what it means to be a peacemaker. And at the end of the story, we're going to recap and talk about um, what we've learned from this story. Let me go ahead and read this story. It's from chapter 3, and I'm going to turn to it right now.
Jared, about how old were you when this story took place?
This story took place when I was about 6 or 7 years old.
Okay.
And this story is about three key players. There are three key players in this story. I was one of them, Sean was another, and so was Darius. Well, the story says that one day I met a friend named Sean. It would change my life forever. His name was Sean. Every day after school, he would draw me something and I would draw him something in return. Um, one summer day, Sean was pulling me in a red wagon to Kendra's house, and he introduced me to a new friend named Darius. Sean taught me that to not be afraid to meet other people, and that to accept others for who they are. I would later learn that Sean would hold me accountable when other people would try to take advantage of me. Um, I was later convinced that other people were out to trick me and lead me astray from God, throw my focus off shift. And I learned that it was up to me to make good decisions, and Sean could not help me with that. Um, One time I read a book that was similar to this story called Willie's Raiders. It was about a raccoon that played baseball, and man, he did not just play baseball. He played by the rules, and man, he played baseball so fair and square that one day the other team, the Weasels on the other team, became jealous of him, and so one day, while he was sleeping, the Weasels threw a trash can over him and locked him inside. And he just cried out aloud, "Why did they do this to me? I can't miss my homecoming game. My team needs me." So he got an idea. He sobbed and despaired, but then he got an idea, and he bumped the trash can until eventually it rolled down the hill, and the lid sprung open, and out came the raccoon, ready for action. The 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 other team then cheated to try um, to try to get the other team to lose. But to their dismay, they lost bitterly to the raccoon and his team. And the important lesson to be learned behind this is that cheaters never win. Um, another part of the story that caps this up is the story about Darius, and I just want to talk about Darius for a minute. Um, when we were walking, it was snow outside, and we were walking up a hill, and I had a sled. People were sledding down a hill. Darius and I almost reached the top of the hill, and then two boys stopped me dead in my tracks. While Darius continued to walk, they stopped me dead in my tracks and argued with me and asked to borrow my sled. I told them no, but they argued further, and eventually I gave in and gave up my sled. When I got to the top of the hill, Darius looked at me and said, "What happened? Where's your sled?" I told him what happened and explained that those guys had taken advantage of me. He then said, "What? All right, never mind. Let's go get your sled back." So we walked down to the bottom of the hill, and then when we reached the bottom of the hill, Darius recovered the sled and told the guys not to bother me anymore. He then said, they continued to argue further, so then he told me, "Just keep walking."
What did they do, Jared, after y'all just turned around and walked?
And after we turned around and walked, they took snowballs and threw them at us. But we just continued to keep walking. And after that, I knew in my heart I would forever appreciate Darius as a friend, because he had decided that he was willing to stand up for a friend, even if it meant taking a beating for it. Let's talk about that story for just a minute. And I want to point out that in this story, making good decisions was up to me. And also, Darius had decided to not let others take advantage of him, but rather take advantage of his friend. And he avoided a fight by walking away. Let's pause for just a moment and think about what it means to be a peacemaker. Okay, what it means to be a peacemaker is to forgive others even when they do not forgive you. I just wanted to thank you all guys for listening to my story today, and I want you to take away something from this story. But I also want you to remember that it is important to pass on what you've learned, not let others take advantage of you, and use each life situation that you have and learn something from it and pass that on to your friends. Well, thank you guys for listening, and I hope you all have a great day.
Jared, can I just ask you a question?
Yes.
So I like what you were saying about being a peacemaker,
Yes.
because at school we have a lot of challenges with that, with people
Yes.
wanting to mess with you and, pick a fight.
Yes.
And so I'm just impressed with how Darius made a choice to solve that situation peacefully.
Yes.
And because if he had done it differently, y'all could have ended up in a fight,
Sure.
gotten up in trouble, somebody got hurt, or you wished you hadn't. So I really appreciate the fact that Darius was maybe thinking ahead more wisely and figuring out how to avoid that fight.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jared, for joining us, and thank you for sharing your story with us and getting your book published. I know it was a lot of hard work, and we appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.